Hello knockouts, TonyaTko here, and I'm recording this video real quick just to give you guys an update because different people have been kind of poking me around on social media, asking me to make a video, asking if I'm all right, and asking, what's going on, etc. So I just wanted to make this video real quick because you know that I promised you guys that I would be vlogging more often, and I'm gonna be really honest with you all. I'm gonna be really honest. There are two different things. I would say there are three different things that are going on and happening right now. The first thing is I recorded last week, I said maybe, I don't know how many days ago it was, maybe 4 or 5 days ago. I recorded a video because I was going to publish the booking.com phone call that I had. The one where the things were supposed to be resolved, and it was in this booking.com phone call conversation that I realized that booking.com didn't care about me as a customer. And probably, well, it wasn't until I re-recorded the video today that I realized that Booking.com probably doesn't care about any of its customers because its customers are not the consumers, the people who rent. Their customers, Booking.com gets paid by the hotels and the establishments that pay them a commission for posting their properties on Booking.com. So all right, so I recorded the video the very first time, and and there was a part in the video where I had to stop, and I had to stop the video, and I had to pull myself together because I was reiterating the part about when I was locked inside on this person's property. And when I started talking about that, I was trying to do the video because typically I had not been editing my videos for 5 years. So in the 5 years, I've developed a tremendous skill to be able to continue to edit to continue to broadcast uninterrupted, and I have great bounce back. Stuff happens, I hear things, I'm able to bounce back. You guys see me when I go out on the street, I'm doing my walking vlogs, and I'm interacting with the people, I'm looking at the camera, and all this stuff is happening, and I have great bounce back ability. And when I did that video, I had to take a few moments because I was trying to push through it, and just the thought of just mentally reliving that, like hearing the clanking of the keys, and it had a tremendous effect on me that day, and I decided to stop filming. And when I came back, I started thinking about why did that have such a tremendous effect on me, and then I started remembering some things. I remember one time when I was a little girl, I was playing hide and go seek, and I was raised in a huge house that had three levels and a basement. And so I wanted to get the perfect hiding spot, and I went up to the 3rd floor, and I went into a little closet, a small little closet, and I closed myself in there. And I don't know how long I was in that closet, but I was locked in the closet and I couldn't get out, and the house was really big, and it took quite some time for people to find me. By the time they found me, I had already fallen asleep, but by then, as a child, small amounts of time can seem so long to you as a child. And I'm a bit claustrophobic, like right now you see me, I'm like in this little cubby area. I'm a bit claustrophobic, I don't like I can't even imagine. Oh gosh. You know, like they do those little parodies of people getting stuck in elevators. I can't do it. Gosh, I'd lose my mind. You know, and so I'm a bit claustrophobic, and I don't know if I have a phobia of being locked in places, but I had to take a few moments to really kind of just examine what's going on inside of me. Let me try to lift this. Oh, I had to examine what's happening, Tonya. You know, really kind of try to evaluate and just kind of figure out what's going on. Why am I still here in Buenos Aires? And I discovered something really, really beautiful. Gosh, it was so beautiful. And this is the first thing that's happening. And I'll tell you the other two things that are going on. But I discovered something so beautiful. It was like yesterday when I woke up, I decided that it was time for me to move on from Buenos Aires and me to start making the exit from Buenos Aires. I'm going to be putting up my crowdfunding page and have you guys participate in that, and I'm going to give you some really cool things in exchange for that. But the thing that I found that was just so beautiful is, as I was sitting there yesterday morning and I realized that it's time for me to move on, I started examining myself on the inside about why did I stay here so long, and why did I not leave? Because remember, when I was in Lima, I boom, out of there. It didn't work out with that apartment. I got out of there. And I'll tell you, I'll give you an update. I'll tell you the second thing that's going on, right? The second thing that's going on is I'll tell you the second thing, and then I'll get back to the first thing, and then we'll close up with the third. All right. So the second thing is I spoke to I actually happened to speak to a viewer. I'd say maybe a week and a half ago. And when I was talking to the viewer was offering me some advice, and the viewer basically, the viewer gave me some great advice about things that I can do to make audiobook, etc. And so I was really happy for that. And you know, she was giving me some great advice about different things to give away on my mailing list. And she said something to me that kind of stuck with me, because there's a part of me that kind of feels like maybe what she said is true. What she said was, she was like, people don't care about what's going on in your personal life. Like, she was like, people don't really care about what's happening. You know, she's like, people care about themselves, and so when people go to watch your videos, they want to watch your videos for what it is that they can get, etc. So, you know, she said that, and I thought that there was some truth to it. So I guess I'll jump to the third thing. So the third thing is that, you know, I don't want to wallow in this situation with that guy and that place and booking and all of this negativity. And, you know, and you all are commenting, you get out of there, you know, please leave, and when are you going to get back to your regular videos, blah blah blah. So the third thing is, you know, I want to put out videos of value. You know, I want to sorry, give me a second. I want to be able to, I'm sorry, I don't know why this makes me emotional, but let me push through. Let me just push through. I want to be able to make videos of value. I want to be able to enhance people's lives. I want to be able to make people's lives. You know, whew, when I first started making videos 8 years ago, come on, Tonya, come on, come on. All right, come on, come on, come on, Tonya, come on. All right, let's go, let's go. Come on, Tonya. All right. When I first started making videos 8 years ago and I was sick, I realized that there is a healing, in giving of yourself to others. I realized it was like when I was 12, I was in a spelling bee with my brother and my sister. I wasn't in the spelling bee. I had helped them study for the spelling bee. I helped my brother. My brother was older. He was in a different category. And I helped my sister. She was younger. She was in a separate category. And I helped them study for the spelling bee. And I went over the words with them over and over. I didn't have an interest in being in the spelling bee because one above, one below, so I was helping them. And I helped my brother in the spelling bee. I helped him go over and over the spellings over and over and over again. And I helped my sister, and I helped her with the words and the spelling and all of that. Because you know, when you go over it over and you have the flashcards and you say, no, that's not it, try again, and you go over and over. Okay. On the day of the spelling bee, a person dropped out. And so there was a space that was open, and remember, I didn't have an interest. When I was younger, I wasn't the person that I am today. I was very shy when I was younger, and I was able to get over my shyness. I was shy because I didn't want people looking at me, and I promise you, since we're going to talk about when I got on YouTube, okay, I promise you, if I had not been sick and not in my right mind, I'd not be on YouTube right now, because I didn't want people looking at me, and I didn't want to be exposed in front of other people, and I was sick. I was sick. And one day I turned on my camera, and the rest is history. But let me go back. So a place opened up in this spelling bee. And would you believe that I knew those words? I knew those words. It was in helping my brother study for this bee that I myself learned and memorized and mastered the words myself, even above and beyond. Would you believe I went on to win that spelling bee? I don't know how that happened. But I realized when I first started making YouTube videos that there is a healing. Oh, I can't describe it. There is a healing in offering of yourself to other people. There's a healing in it. There's a generosity in offering of yourself. There's a, how do I put it? I want to move from underneath here because I feel like I want to move. Come on, let's go. You could come with me. There's a generosity in giving of yourself. And I'll tell you this, look. If you ever feel, let me just check my audio because I wasn't planning on making a long video. Check my audio. Oh, I hope that, what's going on with my sound? Let's keep it moving. I hear sound. Okay. All right. Okay. Whew. Okay. So, here we go, by the window so we could get some natural light. All right. And then that's behind me. I wasn't planning on making a long video, so I was So I didn't even check my audio because I was just planning on making a quick video and then getting out of here. So we were on the point. I realized when I started making videos that there was a tremendous generosity in giving of yourself. If you, just like I talked about in that video that I did about a week or so ago, if you ever want to feel rich, give. If you get the chance, please volunteer at some of these hospitals. There's some people, no matter how little you think you have, you know what, that comes to my third point. No, fourth point, I don't know, it just comes to some point. But, all right. Whew. All right, I feel better now that I've started walking. Okay. All right. Go volunteer at some of these hospitals. Give of yourself. There's such a beauty in that generosity. Wow. You know, it's like a circular paradigm, because in order for you to be able to give, you must have. And so when you give, you do have. I don't know, it's circular, so I can't really fully describe it. But so nonetheless, so the third point is I want to be able to have something positive to give people. So it's like being stuck on this situation with booking and this guy and just the horridness of it. I've been feeling like I want to get away from that. I want to be able to get to a place where I can be able to get back to the types of videos that I used to do before. Hold on, let me open my camera back up. Okay, there we go. I want to be able to, I want people to be able to benefit from my videos. I want people to be able to, because you know what, I can't help anybody, but what I can do is I can put information out there for people to be able to help themselves. Like the books that I'm writing right now, and the books have been coming along great because I've decided to really delve inside and despite the tornado going on around me, I've decided to really just hone in and muster something from the inside to be able to get these things done. I haven't been able to do the writing, but I've been really able to construct some amazing charts and things to really help us in the workbook. So so the third part was I've just been really wanting to be able to have something positive to give, to be able to have. I've been wanting to not just make videos for the sake of making videos, a bunch of complaints and a bunch of all of this stuff going wrong, and low quality videos of just me with a camera, no editing and none of that, and just talking to the camera. I want to be able to increase my production value. I want to be able to give you all, I don't want to say your money's worth because the videos are complimentary, but your time's worth. It's like, time is the most precious commodity we have, and if you trade your time in exchange for one of my videos, I want you to be able to come away with something beautiful and something amazing for yourself. And so sometimes I feel like I don't have much to give. In situations like this, I feel like I don't have much to give because it's just me and I'm on the road. And someone wrote to me on my website, and she sent me a letter, and she started talking about how maybe, she said that if I were dressed in my beautiful dresses and my heels, and if I got dressed up, that maybe I would start feeling better and more powerful and feel like my old self again. I'm on the road, huh? This ain't no high heels in this backpack. It's like, and then it's like, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Was it the powerful feeling that put the dress on, and so I was able to exude the power because the power came and inspired me to put on the dress? Or is it that I put on the dress and then all of a sudden become powerful, so that if I had a dress in my backpack right now and I go and throw on the dress, all of a sudden I'm going to be like, oh, I'm knockout. Not to mock my own self, but is that what's going to happen? I'm going to throw that on and then all of a sudden Miss Bombshell is going to come busting out? Is that what's going to take place? It's like, are all of the things that you construct inside of your life adding to what it is that comes out of your life? It's like when I wore the dresses and the heels and all of that stuff before, I was stable. I was in stable surroundings. I wasn't in South America feeling off kilter, etc. So it's like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's like there's a force inside of all of us. And you know that I feel that I am a force. I am. And there's a light that exists inside of all of us. And we have to nurture and feed the light. We do. And so it's like, here we are. I don't know why, but my intuition is telling me to tell this story, right? Those of you who have been following me for quite some time during this journey, you know that when I was in Guatemala, I jumped off this cliff down into this water. And it was like a rebirth for me. It was a very interesting sensation because this water was inside a lake, a huge lake called Lake Atitlán, a huge lake surrounded by volcanoes and mountains and cities all around this lake. I don't know if you can imagine the girth of this lake. You know, when I think of a lake in the United States, I'm like, oh, get a paddle boat. This is a lake that cities were big enough to go around. So this is a huge, huge lake. As a matter of fact, it used to be a valley. There used to be Mayans that lived on this valley, and they had like pyramids and stuff. And then they prayed for rain, and for hundreds of years or however long it wasn't raining, and then they prayed and they danced and they sacrificed for rain, and then it started raining and raining and raining, and the rain reached so high that now these volcanoes are like hills. So it's like the rain came so high, so it's like a huge valley that's just filled with water. So nonetheless, I was on this huge cliff, and it took such a tremendous amount of courage to jump off this cliff. And I jumped off this cliff into this water. And when I splashed down into the water, I went into a sort of fetal position. There you can see me. I went down into this fetal position. And because I was submerged, like the gravity just boom down into the water, and like everything curled up into this fetal position. And I felt myself traversing down into the water. And something came into my mind, and it was like, Tonya, you've got to breathe. It's time to look up. Tonya, you've got to go up. You've got to go up. So I looked up, and I promise you, and I don't know what scientific reason there is for this, maybe because I was inside of a lake, but everything around me was dark. It was dark, and I was submerged in water, and I knew that I would not be able to breathe under there. There was something in my mind, a survival instinct that said, Tonya, you must go up. And when I looked up, it was the oddest thing, because it was a small, now let me tell you, I jumped into this water. Hear me. I jumped into this water, and the sun was out above the entire lake. But when I jumped into this water, everything around me was dark. Hear me. It was dark. And when I looked up, there was just a small little opening of light. A small little opening of light above. And this thing inside of me said, Tonya, you've got to move to the light. Listen to what I'm saying. So I lunged my body up and I started moving up for that air, because I knew that I would need air soon. I knew that I was not able to breathe the water, and I knew that I had to go upward towards the light. So hear what I'm saying. I started moving my body up, and I started then paddling to come up towards the water. And at this time I needed oxygen. I did, because the force jumping off of that hill drove me far down into the water, and I had to go up. So I saw that light and I knew that I had to go towards it, so I started making my way up to the light through the water, and everything was dark except for this one little area up there. I don't know if it's because when light penetrates or light doesn't penetrate, or only a little bit penetrates through, or because you're surrounded, the rest of the area water is dark and the mountains are, I don't know. But there was just a small amount of light, and I kept pushing and I kept pushing and I kept pushing to go up towards that light. And when I got to the surface, I burst through the water and I gasped my first breath of air. And it was like a rebirth for me. And so I'm here to tell you that inside of each one of us is a light. And there are things that happen that murky the light around us or inside of us. There are things that happen that murky it, that compound it, that push down around it, so that you don't know what it is that's going on. You don't know who it is that you really are. You don't know what it is that has truly transpired, but you have to keep working and pushing and moving towards getting back to the light. Hear me. Hear me. You have to keep working and keep pushing and keep moving towards getting back to that light inside of you. Whew. I did not know that this is where that video was going, or I did not know that that is where this video was going. Okay. So keep working and keep pushing towards getting to the light inside of you. There's a force. Oh, honey, there's a force. There's a force in you, and there's a force in me. And I feel like, I feel like my energy has been dampened. I feel like my energy has been dampened to help bring light to different things that are going on inside of me, inside of my own life, to get to know myself better. I feel like this trip has been somewhat of a rebirth for me. Yeah, you know, I know that I have not been the same since I left the United States. I'm not the same. My foot is not on solid ground. My foot is not on solid ground. A lot of things are up in the air for me. A lot of things are up in the air for me. You know, I closed my business last July. Here we go. We're here at another July coming up. And so what do we do? What do we do when your foot is not on solid ground, when things are not stable around you? How do you find that energy inside of yourself? How do you find the force? And then not only that, remember when I told you, listen, remember when I told you I woke up the other morning and I sat down and I said, you know what, it's just about time for me to move on. I came upon this spontaneously, but let me tell you something that was so beautiful and so healing about that. Let me tell you something that was beautiful and healing about coming to the day where I said, you know what? It's just about that time. It's just about that time, Tonya. And I had to sit down and I thanked myself. I said, you know what? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for giving me the space. Oh, honey. Thank you for giving me the space to be able to just sit back and recuperate. Thank you for the kindness and the generosity of listening to me and saying, you know what? I'm not ready. I wasn't ready to move on. I wasn't ready. Physically, I was worn out. Psychologically, I was beat down. Emotionally, I was weathered. And I had to thank myself for the kindness that it took not to come down hard on myself and be like, Tonya, what are you doing? Why you got me here so long? Why? Let's move on. Let's go. But you know what? I took a few weeks out. And I gave myself the latitude to just relax, to just be, to just recuperate. And it felt, I'm going to be really honest with you, it felt like the generosity of a mother's love. It did. Hear what I'm saying. Listen to this. You know, when you're a child and you know that sometimes there may be something that you don't really quite deserve. That there may be something that should not be afforded to you. I don't know how else to put it. Let me rewind. You know, when you're a child and you are how do I put it? You know, when you're a child and you're hurt or you're not feeling well or something is the matter and your mother holds you and she says, that's all right, baby. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I got you. Don't you worry. You cry. You take your time. You do whatever it is that you need to do. Don't you worry. I got you. I got you. And there's no judgment and there's no criticism and there's no nothing except love and just a wide, expansive amount of just acceptance. I wish that you could hear my heart and understand what it is that I'm saying. I have not been given that level of just unabashed, unbiased, unfiltered generosity since my mother passed away. You know, it's like how do I put this so in a way that you can understand? Let me just say it. Let me just say however I can get this out. It's like so often there's some place we gotta be, something we gotta do, something we have to handle. It's like when you're a child, the only thing you have to do is just be a kid. That's it. And then you can't wait to grow up and look, it's a trap. It's like you grow up and then you have these responsibilities. You go from, you got homework you got to do, papers you got to submit. Then from there you go to projects that are due, deadlines you got to meet, bills you got to pay, this you have to do, that you have to, all of these different things that you have to do in different places that you have to be. And even me, there are places that I need to be. I need to be up in Mexico right now. I need to be on a beach somewhere with some palm trees, drinking some coconut water, and I need to be writing because the books need to be in the publisher by September. That's what I need. This is what I need. I need to have that stuff done. That's what, let me just say, no, this is what I want. This is what I want. And I had to give myself a level of kindness and abundance and generosity to say, what, you know what, Tonya? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I will write for you. Or don't you worry. I will write for you. Don't, honey, take your time and rest. I will write for you. Don't you worry. I got you. Take your time and recuperate. And when you are ready, we will move. When you feel strong enough, we will move. No judgment on how weak I was being or how much I was holding myself back or how much this is so inconvenient or none of that. I said, take your time and rest. Honey, rest. Take it. If the books are late, they will be late. We will find a way. Because right now someone is watching my car in California. And I had to tell myself, look, if they can no longer watch your car, we will find the money to have the car towed to a garage. We will find a way, Tonya. Just take your rest, Tonya. Take your rest. And so I rested. No judgment from myself. No beating myself for like, Tonya, what are you doing here? Tonya. Because you know what? I told you, listen, I told you all before. When my money is funny, I can't sleep at night. Or at least I wasn't able to before, but I've had to rest. Look, I've had to rest into a new level of abundance that I did not know before. No judgment. Just live. You know, it's like sometimes we get caught up in the business of busyness. We get caught up in the business of busyness. Just being busy, that sometimes we forget to live life and sometimes we forget to take care of ourselves. And it's like, of all the people out there in the world that we take care of, we are sometimes last on that list. It's like we need to get back to giving our own selves a mother's love. That unconditional, that's the word I was looking for. Unconditional. It's like, oh honey, it don't matter. It doesn't matter if you make me miss this deadline. It doesn't matter if you make us run out of money. It doesn't matter what happens. Honey, listen, I got you. I'm here with you for the long haul. I won't beat you. I won't beat you. Because it's like, it's tough out there in the world. And with all of the battles that we have to deal with out there with other people, my God, why do we have to be the biggest battle of them all inside? The worst type of wrestling, the worst type of tumbling from inside. Why? Why can't we give ourselves kindness and expansiveness and space? Why? Why do we have to attack ourselves? Attack the way we look, attack our bodies, attack our productivity, attack all these things from the inside so that we can't get a break from the outside, and that the only place that we have respite on the inside attacks us too? No. No. Give unto yourself generously a mother's love. What you would want from a mother, because I had myself. I said, oh baby, relax. Take all the time you need. I don't care. We will find a way. We will find a way. And so I gave myself a mother's love, and I rested, and I relaxed, and I recuperated, and I strengthened myself, because this is the only body that I have. This is the only mind that I have. This is the only psyche that I have. And so I will continue to push on. I will. So here we go. Listen, you know, I had wanted to finish up with point 1. God, we went to point 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I wanted to finish up with point 1. And, you know, we'll talk a little bit more about that inside the video, because I'm going to go and I'm going to edit the video, and I'm going to get that together, and I'm going to get that up for you all so that we can all start to move on from this. And you know what? Remember point 2 that I made, where I was like, you know, I spoke with the young lady and she was like, people don't really care about what's going on in my life, that they care about how it benefits them or whatnot. You know what? I realized, listen, oh honey, this video right here has taught me something. Because listen, there's a value in everything, and it is, how do I put it? Listen, let's just get it out, because the video has gone on longer than I expected. There's a value in everything, and maybe it's not so much for me to quantify what the value may be for other people, so that I say, oh, I have nothing to give, so I won't make a video because it's about me. But is it really about me? Because I learned the opposite in giving of myself to other people. I learned how that healed me. And so maybe in me giving of myself now out to people, there may be a healing for other people in anything and everything, or some parts, or a piece here or a piece there, which may have affected somebody in some way. So maybe it's not about me. Maybe even if I tell you a story about what's going on in my life, maybe it's not about me. Maybe it's really about you. Maybe when you hear my story, something will resonate inside you about something that's going on with me. Maybe, I don't know. So you know what? I won't hold back. I won't hold back. I won't hold back because I'm like, oh, this is about me. I won't hold back anymore. I'm going to go back to making videos, and I'm going to be vlogging, like I said, a lot more often. And you know what? Listen, I don't want anyone to say, and I know that the person will watch this video, and I don't want her to think that this is her fault that I stopped making videos because she said that it's not supposed to be about me. I don't want anyone to think that. What I want is, what my purpose for putting it out there is because I felt that it was true. That came from me. People can say a lot of different things, but it's only what you give the value to and what you give the credence to, because there was a part of me on the inside that felt that what she said was true. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to release a lot more often. I'm going to make videos a lot more often, because it's not up to me to decide what the value may be. The value is out there. Just like my intuition told me to tell that story, I know that there's somebody out there that story will have some positive impact on. Because it's like, you know, I'm a vessel. I'm a vessel. So it's like I had no idea that this video was going to turn into what it turned into. I turned on the camera just to talk, and this is what happened. This is what came through me for you all. So I don't have a secret sentence at the end of the video. I want to come up with one because I love when we interact like that. What could the secret sentence be? I want you to tell me what it is that you're going to do. Oh, I really want to hear this. If you made it to the end of the video, I want you to tell me what it is that you're going to do to love yourself in that unconditional, abundant way which a mother would love you. What is it that you would do for yourself? What is it that you can do for yourself? What is it that you've been denying yourself, which if you were your own child, you would not deny yourself? If you were your child, would you give yourself the space and capacity to do X, Y, Z? It's like, it just dawned on me. It just dawned on me. It dawned on me that this love can come from within. It's like there's so many different types of love out there. Why can't we start with ourselves? Why can't we give it to ourselves first? Why not? That romantic love we talked about, remember we talked about that romantic love and what would you do if you're man. Let's talk about that unconditional, I don't know what it's called, that mama love. What would you do for yourself if you were your own mother? What have you been holding back from yourself? For me, it's been just love without a limit. Just joking, just joking. It's been resting without judgment. I haven't allowed myself to rest without judgment. I mean, I'm a New Yorker. You know about the New York minute and all of that. So I haven't allowed myself to just be at peace and just be still and afforded myself that. What will you do for yourself? I want to hear. There's so many different people out there. I want to hear. Put your comment below and I will respond back to you within if you place your comment the first day or two after the video's been up, because the first 2 days I'm in the comments, I will respond back to you. After 2 days, you know, the other comments start coming in all over the place. So hug me, hug me. Oh, hug me. I love, love. I love, 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 love. I love you all so much. Go out there and love one another, but what? Most importantly, love yourself. Come on over to my website, TonyaTko.com, and it's Tonya with an O, TonyaTko.com. Excuse me. And if there's anything inside this video which made a light bulb go on or something that touched you, I really need to hear those sorts of things, because sometimes I don't feel like making a video and I just made one off the cuff. And so if there's something that helped you in any type of way, I would love for you to tell me. Okay, so TonyaTko, I love you. Want another hug? Yes, because this is a long, long and very love, 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 love. I love you all so very much. Now go out there and love one another. Most importantly, love yourself. I said that already. But anyway, I'm out. TonyaTko, and I'm out. Peace. And remember, get on my mailing list to be able to stay up with me no matter whatever happens on social media. My mailing list is my mailing list and will always be my mailing list forever and ever and ever. And then you'll be made first to know when the books are ready and when you can actually pre-order yours. So look, I'm out. Peace.